Hey guys, Meredith here, certified health coach and consultant, and I have my friend Katelyn here.
Hi.
And we just wanted to shoot a little video for you guys on an experiment that we did last week. It was Katelyn's first time, not my first rodeo, but what we did was we did a bone broth fast. And what we did, so for 4 days, I did 4 days, you did 3 days,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
For 4 days straight, we ingested nothing but grass-fed bone broth. We made our own bone broth in our crock pots at home, which we can share with you guys in another video. But we made our own bone broth and we ingested that and had a pretty cool experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I know you did. This was my third fast, I think, on bone broth, and I fasted on some other things. But it's a really neat thing to do, and a lot of people have some fears about fasting and questions about what it involves and how exactly to do it. So we just wanted to, we're going to share a little bit with you guys, but I'd like to kind of interview Katelyn since it was your first experience with bone broth and with fasting on bone broth, kind of what it was like for you. So can you kind of take us through the week, starting with day one, how you felt, what you did, and then what you thought?
Yeah, well, first off, I thought it was way easier to make than I expected.
Super easy.
Yeah, I'd heard about the health benefits of bone broth for a long time, and I knew Meredith has been making it for a long time, and she always told me it was easy, and so easy. But it took me to actually making it to believe her. It took me all of about 2 minutes to throw it in the
Four ingredients.
Four ingredients, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the initial preparation for it was way easier than I expected, because I think initially when we think fast or we think some sort of new thing we're trying, it always feels like it has to be this big deal. Yep. But we literally decided to do it on, I think, a Saturday.
And we're like, let's do it.
Yeah, so we got the stuff where we needed on Sunday, and by Monday we were fasting. So initially, I was actually surprised by how easy it was and how much energy I had on it and how I wasn't anywhere near as hungry as I thought it would be. I mean, I have my moments, of course, but
So you wake up, you're drinking the broth. Now, how much broth were you drinking throughout the day?
Well, so I work from home, so I was really just paying attention to my body. I didn't have to plan as much ahead as I would if maybe I had to take some to an office, but I really was just listening to my body, and a lot of it had to do with, if I was thirsty, if I was hungry, if, I was just kind of paying attention to my body and to what I needed. So,
huge.
Yeah, so the hardest part for me was the morning. I felt like until I got that initial cup of broth, and actually probably even about 20 to 30 minutes after that was when I really started to feel okay. But by the afternoon and the end of the day, on each day during the fast, I felt like I normally do, if not better. So it was actually hard to tell I wasn't eating.
But you have so much more time.
Yes,
too. I've always noticed when I've been fasting in the past that we spend so much time in our lives thinking about food, preparing food, eating the food, that when we take food out of the equation for a while, we have so much more time to accomplish things. It's really incredible.
Yes. And I completely agree with that. I set the intention for the week to be a very mindful week. I kind of cleared my schedule of any social activities or anything like that. I really
No dinners out.
No dinners out.
Sorry, I'm not eating for a while.
Yeah,
so I can't come to dinner. Yeah.
I did have to go to the farmer's market at one point to get stuff for after the fast, but I tried not to make eye contact with any of the delicious looking food there.
Don't make eye contact.
Yeah, but it was actually great. It was so nice to give myself permission to just kind of lay low for the week. I did some meditation. I even went for a long walk outside, which I felt fine to do. I didn't feel weak at all. It was a beautiful day. So I really just felt connected to my body and really aligned, and not only like I was resetting my body because I had been having some digestive problems leading up to that, but so I was feeling so much better. It wasn't just a reset. I was also kind of retuning into the natural rhythms of my body, which we forget about when we're so, there's so many demands on our time and our energy, and and I live in the city, so I'm eating at restaurants frequently, and it's nice to kind of remember what our body's capable of and how we kind of feel when you take all those things out of the equation.
Mm-hmm. Huge. And you said you slept well too, right?
Great. Oh my gosh, I'm a horrible sleeper normally. Horrible. I'm a light sleeper. I'm always tossing and turning. It's not a very restful sleep. I felt like not only was I getting restful sleep, but I felt like I had so much energy during the fast that I was waking up so much earlier. I mean, I had been struggling to get up at 9, and I was really dragging through, if that, my schedule's flexible, so I can kind of pick when I want to wake up. But my mornings had really been rough for at least the past month or so, since the daylight's been getting less and less and the weather's been changing. But during the fast, I mean, I was up and at 'em and ready to go, and I hadn't intended to get a lot done during the fast. I really was just taking it day by day.
Wasn't
and
the
just,
pressure.
Right, no pressure, just seeing what I was up for. But yeah, I was blown away by how I felt and how much I was able to do during it without any kind of problems. In fact, I would say I felt a lot better than I normally do, energy-wise and food-wise. And to your point about us having more time and how much time we put not just into food, but the decision of whether or not to eat it. I'm working from home, and when you're trying to procrastinate something, it's so easy to wander into the kitchen and get a snack.
Maybe I'm hungry.
Yeah, exactly. So having that out of the equation also gave me back some of the emotional energy I have to not even think about it, but to just know that if I truly was hungry, I could come in and get some bone broth and put a lot of the good minerals back in my body. But otherwise, I really wasn't thinking about it. I was kind of focused on me, and that felt great.
I love that too, because I think, every decision we make takes energy. And when you take that out of the equation, you have more energy to channel into other things.
Yes.
So that's really cool.
Yes. And even without keeping I never keep junk food in my house, but I mean, there's always stuff that I feel like sometimes if I'm a little bored or just kind of stuck, kind of pushing through a lot of tasks or anything, that sometimes that, we still have those bad habits of using food as sort of a relief or, whatever it might be. So like you said, having that out of it gave me back a lot of the emotional energy that I could just focus on whatever felt way more intentional.
Awesome. So you did about 3-4 days straight bone broth, had a lot of awesome physical, mental, spiritual benefits.
For sure.
And what were kind of your intentions going into it, and did you get those results that you were looking for?
Yes, absolutely. So my intention going into it was to not only work on my digestive health, which, I've had enough digestive issues in my lifetime, especially the past year or two, to kind of know that if my energy is suffering and I'm just sort of feeling physically weighed down by my digestive system, that, some stuff needs to change. And this summer was, really busy, and there were a lot of restaurant trips and friends in town and all kinds of stuff. So it really did start to take a toll on my system. So my primary goal was just to get my health back in order and to really feel my best physically. But then on the spiritual side of it, it was more just wanting to tune in all around to where I felt like I needed to be aligned. So I did a lot of meditating during the fast and just really focusing on me and literally minute by minute deciding what do I need and what does, what would make me feel aligned and feel good. So, so digestively, I think I accomplished my goals for sure. It was such a nice reset. But I think what went above and beyond that for me was really what I learned from it about, it was such a good reminder of how much food affects our energy and oftentimes in a negative way. And so to have that out of the equation and really be able to see what my body's energy was naturally without that influence was so enlightening. And so that is something I've carried with me beyond the fast. So even just cutting back on portion sizes and just that awareness. I think it's so important that we're constantly cultivating our awareness with our body and our health. And so in addition to the physical benefits I got from it, I just think that knowledge and awareness is what continues to carry forward when the fast is over.
Yeah, priceless. Awesome. And fasting is amazing. It is an ancient tool that so few people take advantage of today. There's no faster way to decrease inflammation in the body, to balance your hormones, to reset your gut. It's an amazing thing, and I encourage all of you to give it a try, whether you fast on bone broth or on water or really, I mean, there's so many different things you can fast on. So we can do future videos on a lot more fasting techniques and other tips and tools we have for you guys. But I just wanted to share. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.